The YXZ 1000R has been Yamaha's racehorse in the sport side-by-side category since 2016. And while the YXZ has seen numerous updates over the years, the appeal to die-hard YXZ owners has always been the manual gear transmission and the direct connection feeling you get from the gearbox and its nimble handling chassis. For model year 2024, Yamaha officials took aim at broadening the appeal of the YXZ to a larger user group with the introduction of a new 6-speed transmission with selectable auto shift technology that is activated through a 3-position dash mounted dial. Last fall, Luke attended the YXZ 1000R SS introduction in Sand Hollow, Utah, and got a really good appreciation of its improved versatility in the wide open sand dunes and technical rock crawling sections. To further showcase its appeal, Yamaha extended an invitation to us this spring to an off-road event they were hosting at the world-famous Crandon International Raceway.
So coming out here with the 2024 YXZ 1000R Sport Shifts, we really just want to show off the versatility of the new auto shift technology and just what all the YXZ is capable of handling. Out here at Crandon International Raceway, for one, they're celebrating their 5th anniversary, so it's cool just to be here and be a part of that, but also there's such a diverse amount of trails, little known, that are out here to be able to experience in the YXZ. We went through some tighter wood stuff, even through some mud, and the cool thing is, just here recently, they added an Ultra 4 section, so the media got to experience this whole big boulder rock crawling that not a lot of people really think of a YXZ with, but with our new gear ratio setup, they got to just feel how seamless it kind of is going up and through those rocks. Another cool thing we did, we brought out the Van Eprens, who are our champions that have multiple race championship wins on the YXZ 1000R, and they built a couple of custom-made short course specific YXZs out here that we're able to experience. Again, just to show the versatility you have of not only being out there in the trails, but also what you can do with the YXZ out on the track.
While the group of us attending were all itching to get on the race course with the YXZ, we had to wait for the track to dry up from the previous night's thunderstorm. We took advantage of the premium-equipped XTR models and spun some laps on the trail and then tested the lower first gear ratio on the Ultra 4 course. The benefits of the new automatic transmission were immediately appreciated while blasting through the forest trails. Not having to worry about manually shifting the gears while navigating the tight and twisties allowed you to keep better focused on the trail while hitting your marks. Sport Auto perfectly exemplifies what the YXZ is all about as it comes alive and does all the work for you. More aggressive mapping inspires you to mash the throttle and stretch out the gears as the system does all the work for you, selecting shift points ranging from 7,500 RPM all the way up to the 10,500 rev limit. Regular Auto provides a more mellow shift point and a more casual mindset while cruising the trails. It short shifts and keeps the taller gear at a much lower RPM for a quieter in-cab experience, allowing you to relax and chat with your passenger without worrying about shifting any gears. Now, if you ever get in a situation where you feel the gear selected by either auto mode isn't optimal, simply pull back either paddle shifter to override the system and select the gear you desire. The auto shift system will then keep the gear selection you made constant until the clutch senses a noticeable change in energy, and then the automatic mode will re-engage. Now, another element worth pointing out is that if you actuate the paddles and nothing happens, that means that the system has detected a situation where either the engine RPM is below idle or above redline. Otherwise, it's going to do what you tell it to do. The heart of the YXZ is the updated Yamaha chip control shifter, more commonly referred to as YCCS. Pat Biolzi, Yamaha's ATV and side-by-side testing manager, explains the importance of this system.
The YCCS system, what makes it so good and so essential to the core of the YXZ is because it gives you that direct connection feeling. We really focus on actually not eliminating shift shock and shift noise. We want the driver to be able to hear and feel when the vehicle shifts without looking at the meter. We feel like we have one of the best digital meters in the market. It's right behind the steering wheel and you really have a very direct view of it. But we want you to be able to, especially when you're driving in a sporty, more aggressive way, you want to be able to hear and feel when the vehicle shifts. And it does change how it shifts. The clutch engagement is different depending on what you're doing with the throttle pedal and how much energy is going in and out of the clutch. So it changes how it shifts every time you actuate the paddle depending on the situation. But we want the driver to be able to be connected to that and hear and feel it. So the 2024 YXZ, the Sport Shift model, actually has rubber engine mounts, which soften that just a little bit because the vehicle might shift when you're not expecting it to, because you're not controlling it anymore in those auto modes. So it might be a little bit surprising. We wanted to soften that shift shock and shift noise just a little bit, but especially we wanted to make sure you knew that it shifted. So we don't want to eliminate that. We feel like the YCCS system does the best job of that.
The addition of a 6th gear really broadens the usable range of the gearbox, with the most noticeable improvements at first. A 40% lower first gear ratio significantly improves low-speed navigation, especially when rock crawling and wanting to slowly pick a path through the gnarliest and steepest terrain. When it comes to comparing the new gearbox with the previous YXZ, the rest of the gears are evenly spaced out, with 6th gear being the same as the old 5th and 2nd gear being the same as the old 1st gear. Top speed remains the same, but Yamaha did increase the durability of the clutch with an all-new hub with radiating fins, along with increasing oil volume and adding oil lubrication ports for maximum heat dissipation. The YXZ's raw performance DNA really comes to life when in sport shift mode, and this was especially exciting when we got to drive the YXZs prepared by Rodney Van Eperen and his son Owen on the short course. Compared to a CVT transmission, having full control of the gear selection made a massive difference at maintaining peak horsepower as you pulled back and forth on the paddle shifters, charging from corner to corner and through the ever-changing track conditions. Further enhancing the performance is a well-placed shift light located on the dashboard. The YCCS system continues to monitor ideal energy levels transferred through the clutch and illuminates a light on the dashboard, signaling optimal shift points for the high-revving 3-cylinder engine. There's a reason why the YXZ has been and continues to be the most popular side-by-side on the short course racing circuit. Its dominance is largely attributed to its bulletproof transmission and the direct connection it provides drivers on the race course. In addition to this is the versatility it provides everyday users, whether on the trail or in the dunes.
Direct connection is so important to people like Rodney and Owen and the short course type of guys out there, or anybody driving the YXZ in a racing format. We knew that was a key part of their fun, why they want to drive it that way, because they get to build their skill with the vehicle, and it's just a lot more fun than a CVT vehicle in that way. So we did want to make sure, they run a 26-inch Maxxis Ceros, for these conditions on this short course today, and we wanted to make sure this new transmission was very flexible. So if somebody's going to run a 30 or a 32-inch tire in certain, western conditions, for example, in the western desert, all the way down to a 26, wanted to make sure this transmission was as flexible as possible to really give them the choice of whatever they want to do and how they want to do it within that range. And we found that our system really can accommodate that wide range, and they didn't have to modify the system at all to run that different range of tires.
The expanded versatility of the YXZ 1000R SS and its new auto shift technology has definitely lived up to all the hype. And to cap it off, launch mode adds serious sizzle to the steak. Activation is similar to other side-by-sides with this feature. Press down on the brake pedal, pull back on both paddles, and wait for the launch mode light to go solid green. Then mash the accelerator pedal down to the floor. Once you see the shift light illuminated, you know you've reached the perfect RPM for maximum exhilaration. Release the paddles and go.